Hello, this is Eric with Ben's Brickstore. Wanted to film a new store tour for 2025. It's long overdue at this point. Starting out here so that you can see exactly what customers see for the first time when they come into our store. Gonna head on in. On the left when you come in are all of our parts drawers. We have about 1.7 million parts in the store at this point. Over 14,000 unique items. Over here we have some minifigures. We just got the new Spider-Man into the Across the Spider-Verse series in. The pick-a-brick table in the back there. Some more minifigures. Sealed sets on the shelves back there. And some minifigures on that gondola there too. Lego themed curtains. The parts on the left wall here and in the middle are all new. This is a cart we use for putting parts away. And the parts on that back wall are all used. We're slowly working on adding more used parts to the store. It's just a tedious process. This is one of our counting scales. Basically, you add a small quantity of parts, tell it how many parts you have on the scale, and then it does the math for you as you add more items. More parts over here. Again, most of this is new until you get over to here. Everything in this section is used again. Some packages waiting to get put out in the mail on the little table. This is also the table where we leave orders for local pickup. So if you place a local pickup order, either at bensbrickstore.com or on our Bricklink or Brickowl page, once we message you that it's ready, you'll be able to find it right here. So on this rack we have the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse series. We have some other Spider-Man minifigures down here in the poly bag there. Series 27. Some other poly bags. Some various animals. When we filmed the previous video, we didn't have any of this out on the floor. Everything was just hiding in drawers and it was hard for people to find. So we've slowly been trying to get things out on display. The animals have been proving quite popular. We have the race car series. Kids can play with the ones there. Some other poly bags. Over here you can see our pick-a-brick table. We just put fresh parts out a few days ago. Some more animals. Lots of different minifigures. All of the minifigures that you see in the little bags are brand new, and they've never, in most cases, have never been assembled, which is why we leave them like this. We don't want to build them to put on a display stand. Some poly bags and paper bags. A few Halloween themed parts. And more minifigures on this side. Here's a better view of our pick-a-brick table. There's parts in the drawers underneath as well, so Not all of them are organized, but some of them have been partly sorted. So here's a bunch of tires and wheels in this one. There's also a couple of drawers right now that have some red and yellow pieces. Oh, there we go. A few people that come in just like to sort as they look through the table. Over here we have some 18 plus sets. They're not really 18 plus, it's just how Lego kind of signifies that they're just more advanced builds. We have a couple of jigsaw puzzles down there, the Ice Cream Dream. Some display cases from Kingdom Brick Supply. They're based in California. Some more Kingdom Brick Supply cases down there. We have gift cards over here. Oh, and we also have some of the collectible minifigure blind boxes down here as well. Some Lord of the Rings sets, the Fell Beast. Harry Potter, Eldorado Fortress, that retired last year, I think. Or maybe the year before. Some Brickheads. The Up House. And then we're getting into Star Wars. There's a couple of Kingdom Brick Supply cases right there. And then we have the Bricklink sets. Everybody that comes in asks, is Bricklink Lego? And yes, it is in fact Lego. The Lego group acquired Bricklink about 6 years ago. Bricklink is also where we do the majority of our parts sales. Here's a little thing we wrote up about Bricklink. You can pause the video if you want to read this. Some more Bricklink sets down here. Monkey Kid set here. A couple of Ninjago sets, and there's a Dreams set in there. We need to get more Ninjago in at some point. Same with Speed Champions. Here we have some sets that have damaged boxes, so the price is a little bit reduced. Here's a couple of pictures about what our store used to look like when we had it at our house. We named the store after our son Ben. That picture on the top right, he was probably just under 3 when we started the store. So everybody calls me Ben, but Ben is actually our son. He's 9 now. So I paused the video so I could open up these two cabinets because the glare was really bad. So I'll give you a better look in here. We have a one dewback left from the Mos Eisley Cantina set, which retired last year, I think. Clone Trooper Lieutenant. Those are sealed bags. Admiral Yularen, Darth Maul, TC-14, and a Shadow ARF Trooper. Some Cloud City figs and the 2 smooth hair Leias. The original Watto and a Queen Amidala. Focus here. These ones in the bags are brand new, but have been pre-assembled. Reddish brown beard variant on Qui-Gon there. Trying to get the camera to focus here. We're slowly trying to get more minifigures in. We should have some more put out in the next several weeks or so. We also don't have a lot of used sets in the store right now. They take a long time for us to process, and then they sell fairly quickly when we do get them in. We do have some to process that I'll show you upstairs later. Then there's also Ben's Brickstore mugs, and we have some pens. We don't sell very many of these, but there's also Lego. It was a old gift with purchase, I think. We have 2 of those Lego license plate style signs there. We don't sell too many of the pens and mugs. I tend to use the pens as a freebie in some of the larger orders, things like that. Coming over here, we have Series 26, the Space Figs. Most of our collectible minifigures that are in the boxes are 10% off right now, except for the brand new Spider-Man series. So the prices you see here are, take 10% off of that. I'm not sure how long we'll continue that for, but we just have a lot of them, so we're trying to clear out some inventory. Some other older series figures down on the bottom. These older bagged ones are not 10% off. Spinning here, we have some Series 23 down there. Some other older series, and then we have the Series 25. We are out of the boxed Vampire Knight and then Mushroom Sprite. We just have the minifig only version of Vampire Knight there, and we do still have his accessories in the store, in the parts inventory. And then we have the Marvel Series 2. Getting very low on Moon Knight there, the second one from the left. We only have a couple left of him, and I think we are down to our last beast. And Wolverine, we're out of the complete sets with the box, but we do still have one left that's just has the instructions and everything, just doesn't have the box. You'll see that one in a minute. It's in the display case. Some Harry Potter Series 2 over there on the right. Bagpiper Series 7. Some more older figures. A few of the DC series down here. And that looks like that's Series 18 Bricksuit Girl. Again, those older ones that aren't in the boxes are not 10% off. Here's the D&D series. And then it's back to the Space series here. Here's a little Halloween display. Some skeletons. Monster Fighters, 2 Monster Fighter sets. Those are used, but they're 100% complete. Some Series 14 minifigures. Lord Vampire's Bride. And there's Lord Vampire. There's the version with the cape and without the cape. Those are both from the Monster Fighters theme. Monster Fighters was a theme that was around in like 2012-ish. We have a Beatles Yellow Submarine. This set just has some discoloration on the back. And here's some other used figures. Like I said, we're going to be hopefully getting more used figures in within the next few weeks. Some dinosaurs. We just put out a display for some of our horses. These used to be in the drawers. It's been a slow process of getting everything out of drawers because for 6 years or so we were just a warehouse essentially, and then we started having customers come in, so it's been just something that's taken some time for us to adapt. Couple more Star Wars sets. We have the Sith art. That's our only one in stock. And Jabba's sail barge down there. So that's most of this room. I do need to go back to the... We didn't come down here yet. These are mostly empty over here. It's just where we're going to expand used parts into as we need to. We do have a Bird of Paradise. We don't have many botanical sets in stock right now either. We need to get more. Here's Spider-Man blind boxes. Also a random Duplo. Bricklink actually considers that a minifigure. Temporary home for the Spider-Man blind boxes. We have to find a better spot. These bins over here are all Duplo parts. If anybody's thinking about adding Duplo to their Bricklink inventory, just know that it takes up a ton of space. I forgot to mention before, we also have, can we see them from here? No. Speaking of Duplo, I just came back over here to highlight the Duplo animals that we have over here. Pretty nice selection of Duplo animals for younger kids. There's also this sound brick in here, which is kind of cool. You can test it right here. That's what all those little boxes are. It will cycle through several different sounds. I'm not sure how many there are. At least a couple. And then over here, we have some Lord of the Rings figures. Most of these are from Barad-dûr. A few Batman figures there. And then over here we have Harry Potter and Star Wars. We sort of don't mind if customers look through these drawers on their own, but most of the parts drawers, I should have mentioned, it's really employees only. Please ask for assistance if you're looking for things. The best way to order parts from us is to just place an online order on Bricklink or Brickowl, and then select local pickup if you live nearby and you want to pick it up. Or we ship all over the U.S. and to about 34 countries internationally. So the parts are really just organized by our own internal drawer numbers. I'll zoom in on some of the drawers. So those just correspond to a numerical sequence that we use for when we're picking orders. We just start at, when we're picking orders, we'll be picking multiple orders at once, and we just start at one end of the aisle here, work our way down one aisle, up the next, down the next, up the, and then we'll do the new parts first, and then we'll do used. Whereas when someone comes in and is looking for parts, it's okay if someone's looking for a few things, but we have to look up where things are. It's hard to find a specific piece in the drawers without looking it up on the computer. And then you also aren't going to see the pricing on the drawers. So it's just an easier, smoother process. If you just place the order online, you can search and filter our site to see what you're looking for. But if someone's just looking for a few things, we'll help them find it. It's just we have to look up each item, remove it from our inventory, pull it from the drawer. It's just not as streamlined. And this is a little bit of information about how our parts work. You can pause the video if you want to read it more carefully. We do occasionally have someone who will come in and just start opening drawers, and the drawers can spill out if you're not careful. And the most important thing is we don't want things moving from one drawer to another, because then we'll never know where it is. So now I'm going to head towards the back of the store. One of the recent changes, and also as I go back here, here's our pricing for the pick-a-brick. Basically, it just goes by the bag size. You fill up whichever size bag you want, and a lot of people will just put things out on a tray, and bag it up when they're done, so they know exactly what size bag they need at that point. So anyways, one of the recent changes was these shelves over here. We just set this up maybe about a month ago. This is the Star Wars Rebel Fleet. Was designed by someone that goes by Mortis V online. It was designed back quite a few years ago. I had actually sourced the parts for this about 6 years ago, and I started building a couple of them, and I just never finished because I wasn't really sure where I was going to put it. And then it's always I don't have a lot of time on my hands, so finally got around to finishing it. This is an incredibly fragile build. It was a very challenging thing to put together. Every time I put something, attach a panel or anything on here, something else falls off. There's way too many things that are just connected by a single stud. But it was a lot of fun too. Slowly, as I find the time, we'll add some more things to these shelves. Oh, I should also zoom in on the little scene here. That's the scene at the end of Empire Strikes Back, where they're looking out the window at the view of the galaxy. I have some other pretty cool mocks that I'm hoping to build that I also sourced parts for a long time ago and just have not gotten around to. Now we finally have a place to put them. Over here we have the classic yellow castle. This was a Kingdom Brick Supply case. I reached out to them asking which size case would work well for the yellow castle, and the suggestion was the Leonardo da Vinci set, the case for that set, and sure enough, it fits perfectly. I highly recommend Kingdom Brick Supply. We have some of their cases in stock, but we can also work with you to get other options, and they do offer free shipping over a certain threshold on their website. We have the T-Rex breakout set up here as well. We've sold out of those, so we moved it over to here. So yeah, there's a lot more space to go to put stuff out on these shelves. It's going to take us some time to work on it though. And this is the other project I've been slowly working on. This is GBC Tower 2. Not my design. And I'd say it's probably about 10% complete so far. It's going to be basically the same width all the way up. I think it actually gets a little bit wider at the very top. If you're not familiar with what GBC or Great Ball Contraptions are, you can look it up on YouTube. I think I've also posted a link to a short video of this in operation on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Ben's Brickstore. Basically, it's going to move the balls all the way through the whole contraption. It'll lift them up the snake lift, and then they get deposited out of the top into some other modules. This will have over 45,000 parts when it's all done. Hopefully I can get it working. Some porta potties down there. There's some other sections that have like construction zones, which I think give it a lot of character. So it's going to take some time to set that up though, to finish that. And then over here we have, this is where we process orders. This is our picking cart. So we'll take this cart around through the parts aisles to fill orders. A couple small orders that we have to finish packing up over here. They'll ship out on Monday. We generally get orders processed within about 1 or 2 business days, unless we're really backed up. Back there are a couple of closet spaces. We just finished reorganizing the closets today. Here's some parts from the Across the Spider-Verse series. We'll get more parts in. We only got half of our order so far, so within the next couple of weeks we'll have a lot more. Here's our packing station. Bubble mailers up there. Packing paper, postage scale, Rollo label printer over there. And we have various size small boxes down there. Priority packaging. And my computer desk, that's also where we check out customers with the square register there on the right. Ninja Turtle art mosaics, those were something I found on Rebrickable. The person that designed those has several hundred different designs that are really cool. So lastly, I'll just give one last look around the room. We have a little bulletin board on there that we put notices up on sometimes on the door. So if any of you remember from our previous video, none of the displays were out in the middle of the floor there. I think we had those glass cabinets at the wall. And we had some of these shelves over here, but we added more. And we still don't have enough room for everything. This room is about 1,300 or 1,400 square feet. And we have another room upstairs, which I'll show you in part 2 of this tour. The room upstairs is about another 1,300 or 1,400 square feet. If you look back on our channel, we have the first store tour I did was that upstairs room, because we moved in up there first, and then it was about a year later that this space became available. So then we moved the parts inventory down here, and then we started setting up for retail once we put the sign out front. We were never expecting to do much retail, but once we put a sign out by the street, people started coming in, so we basically adapted. Originally, I was going to just have some more parts aisles down on the right-hand side of the room over here, but plans changed. So that's our this half of our store, and hope you'll join me for part 2. We'll take you upstairs and show you our the area where we do all of our part sorting and where we have a whole bunch of sets in storage and some other things. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to our small fledgling little YouTube channel. Thanks.